Hey, I am so glad to see you in the house of God today. Can I just remind you today, there's a God who made you. He sees what you're going through today, and He loves you. Wherever you are on your spiritual journey, it's no accident that you are in this moment right now because God is speaking to you, drawing you to Himself. Now, if you've been part of Connection Point for a while, you know that we have a huge heart for our next generation. Our kids, our students, and our young adults are growing up in a world that's more fractured, more divided, more difficult of a world to grow up in a long, long time. And for that reason, we as a movement decided 5 years ago to go all in on raising our next generation. One part of that is what we call our youth worldview. What in the world is a worldview? It's the lens through which you view the world, through which you view everything. You have a lens through which you decide what's good, what is bad, what's honorable, what's shameful. And as followers of Jesus, that lens gets fully formed as you understand a biblical view of humanity, of sin, of history, of God, of nature, of eternity, so on and so forth. And what we've realized is that for us to raise up a generation who can really stand for Jesus and love their neighbors in this fractured and divided world, well, we've got to go all in on training the head, the intellectual view, the heart, the identity, and the feet that we go out into this world to serve. Our Youth Worldview initiative covers all of those, and there's a lot to it. Now, we've got two directors for our Youth Worldview initiative. Back on Memorial Day weekend, you were introduced to one of those two, Trey Shigley. Trey does a fantastic job teaching our young people this biblical view of reality and preparing them to be followers of Jesus in this world. Well, Trey's not a one-man show. He has a great partner in Dr. Zach. Zach Breitenbach came to us the same time that Trey did, and Zach actually holds a PhD in what's called apologetics. Apologetics is the Christian defense of the faith, giving an answer for what we believe. So Zach really specializes in writing our curriculum. How do we help our young people understand where the Bible came from, why it's true, the arguments for God, and how to answer the arguments against the existence of God, the problem of pain, biblical sexuality, the list goes on and on and on. And Dr. Zach is really at the forefront of writing the material that helps our young people understand the biblical answers to these questions as they form their beliefs, their identity, and then how they'll go out into the world. Dr. Zach is going to continue our series on burning questions, and right before he starts, can I just encourage you, we have a lot of worldview resources to help you. In fact, if you'll go to cp.news today, you can find out about our Youth Worldview podcast. I would strongly encourage you, start listening to this when you're driving to work, if you have a road trip. You're going to be amazed at the deep truths that our young people are learning, and we sure want our adults to be learning these as well. Speaking of our adults, our teaching pastor, Ron Merrill, will this fall be kicking off some evening sessions in Youth Worldview, using material from Dr. Zach and from Trey to teach our moms and dads, our grandparents, and all of us as adults, here's what a biblical worldview looks like. If you're interested in that, go to cp.news and you can find out more. Well, I could go on and on. I get so excited about what God is allowing us to do through your generosity, through your faithfulness, through your prayers, and your inviting. But with that, let's introduce Dr. Zach. Would you guys put your hands together and give him a huge Connection Point welcome?